Okay, what are you looking for?
Spark plug for the small engine.
But for what motor?
It's just a fucking bike.
You gotta bring
motorbike. Yeah.
Did you bring this? Does he have the spark plug?
No,
And
I let him know.
Can you
I
show
could
me?
sell
Can
him
you
one.
show me?
It's not. It's
No, bigger.
no.
I
You
just
gotta
can't
bring it
do
in.
like that. I
You
can't
got to
do
bring it in or go to a store. Literally.
This is too small. Yeah.
We have too many to be able to do that.
Yeah, because I'm lost it. Because it
No.
broke, I just threw away. Yeah. There's short and the white.
The problem is,
Short and the white.
I know most spark plugs are white, right? But if you put in a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 range, one spark plug, it may fit, but it could blow your bike up.
Yeah.
One may
my
fit.
My spark blew out.
Your spark plug
I just
shot out.
Shot out.
Well, glue it, stick it back in there, man.
No, it's like the engine hot. It's blew out.
Well, sounds like you need more than a spark plug.
Yeah, I need this bigger white.
Yeah. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you something here. If you have a kicker, well, obviously you have a kicker on your Zuma. This is Paul's. Oftentimes there's a little clip. There's a clip and a washer that sits back in here. And what happens is that clip comes loose, the C-clip comes loose, and the shaft goes in, and then the spring comes all unwound, and your Kickstarter stops working. So a lot of guys struggle with this portion of it. Paul actually told me to do this one for Matt Field's pre-bug, which is over here. We built it, and it just needs to go down to California. Just waiting on me to put this thing in and a few other pieces. So we powder coated the kicker cover. And all his internals are just the original internals. But I'll kind of walk you guys through my process, and bear with me. It may take me a couple attempts because I haven't done this for probably 6 months. It's a pain in the butt. You don't need any special tools. However, there are some things that are helpful in this scenario. Also, a really handy thing to make sure you do ahead of time when you do a build, because I've had bikes where you've gone out and I've had those kickers pieces come off, and when they come off, you cannot get your bike started if you don't have electric start, and you're stranded. And most of the time you're not going to have those tools on hand to be able to do that. I've had to redo them on the street and make them work, but the problem is if you lose that C-clip, or the C-clip is bad to begin with, if you get it put back together, it's only a certain amount of time until that C-clip pops off. So please help us out, like, subscribe, share. We have an app as well. If you guys have message questions, you want to ask us questions about a product, you want to view your orders, that comes in really handy. Also, something kind of cool, we just got this whole racking system installed in here. Installed meaning Paul and myself and John put together. Pretty funny. But anyway, so that whole top shelf is going to be fairings for pre-bugs. We have a bunch of colors coming. I think we have 200 sets coming. We ordered, I think, 150 sets, and this is literally all that we have left of the 150 sets that we ordered in November, something like that. November, so they went really quick. And then we have a lot of stuff's out of stock because we ordered from Pliny Melosi. We ordered a whole shipping container this year, so we have a year's worth of inventory in one shot. So big move. We have a lot of stuff coming in. This was our service shop here, this whole side, and since we have so much product coming, that whole wall is all going to be product palletized, all Pliny Melosi down below, just overstock and for the year. So exciting stuff, and appreciate it, guys. Appreciate sticking with us. Appreciate watching our videos. If you have any questions, post them down below. And yeah, don't hurt yourself doing this, because you can rip your hands wide open, so wear some gloves. So starting off, make sure your washer here is good and isn't bent and tweaked. Your little snap washer here, and then make sure you have your washer that goes in between the shaft, this guy, sorry. Make sure you have your washer that goes between that and this. And then this is your other little piece that's going to slide on right here. Make sure with this, perfect example, so this cover was coated, right? So I got to go back through and clean this off, so I'm not going to walk you through that. And then I also make sure to kind of lube this up so it spins nice and free. This piece And this spring right here in this shaft, those spots all have to move really free and clean of gunk, because those are the things that cause your kicker not to snap all the way back. And then this can also kind of stay pushed out too. So make sure this part here spins nice and free. If it doesn't, just add a little bit of grease in there. And then you've got your bushing here you want to grease up as well. You don't have to go crazy, just get a little bit of something in there. And those are going to help it to spring back. And once you clean this, once you clean this guy off here, once you clean this off, make sure that when you put that piece on, you spin it, it spins free. Those are the main pieces you're going to need. Obviously you need this guy, make sure your splines aren't messed up, and make sure that bushing spins nice and free. As far as tools, I'm going to try the nut driver, and that's going to be to grab a hold here like this and rotate it around. That's a little bit bigger than I want, but that's the one I could access right now. And then I've got 3 flat blades just to have them here on hand. And this guy here, I'm going to use just like so, and that's going to keep that spring from sliding up, and you'll see why, because oftentimes when you spin it around, the spring will pop up, and then you got to start over and rip your hands open. Make sure you're wearing gloves, at least latex ones at minimum, but it's always better to wear like something a little bit thicker. I've done it enough times, it should be okay. And then you need some pliers to spread that ring. Not at this given moment, but you'll see it's a 2-hand job. I typically put it in my lap, which I'll probably do. I'll probably take all this, put it on my lap, and set it up. That way you can kind of really use your legs to kind of hold this cover down. Lawrence and team framing. He's going to show you here how to properly haul a piece of plywood. Yeah, there you go. You're so strong. So strong. That's not it. Okay. All right. There you go. Look at that. You should frame a house. You should build a house, Paul. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this puppy. I'm going to try just to get it off the edge like this. And obviously you need to have some sort of something down on your table or your bench, because you're going to damage your cover if you don't do that. So got this guy all lubed up. This guy drops on just fine. Spins around, just have a little bit of grease on there. It doesn't matter if you get extra grease in here, because this isn't touching any of your belt or your variator system really. Obviously you don't want to cake it up, because this will contact your dry face, but it's not. There's no rotating parts in here that rotate with your motor, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's take this guy. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop all this in here, and you need to get this here, and you're gonna rotate at the same time. You're gonna push this guy around. You're gonna keep going all the way around like so. See, I'm holding this, and you have to keep this gear down as low as you can. Keep this gear down as low as you can, because if you go up too high, the screwdriver is going to pop out, and that spring is going to fly back out at you. So you keep going. And once you kind of get to, let's see here, kind of stuck. Once you get to here, that point, typically, screwdriver in here, go up, just like so, and then push down. Now it's stuck on the screwdriver. There we go. Come on, baby. Like I said, this part is not fun. There's a reason why Paul's not doing this right now, and I am. There you go. So once you get that part down past there, you can take this screwdriver out, and now what you have to do is this guy's holding that vertical piece sitting there, but the other issue is you have to make sure, see this gap, there's a gap right in here. You got to close that gap up, and you got to make sure this spring isn't sitting on any of these feet underneath the kicker part. That's kind of hard to see, but basically if this spring is sitting, get a better screwdriver, if this spring is sitting on that or on the other side, this won't go all the way down, and it'll cause this piece to fling back up and rip around. So be careful, you can really shred your hands up And I'm guessing the spring, yeah, I think the spring is sitting on that lip like I suspected. So you have to kind of take this guy, kind of pry it back at the same time. And maybe, I think I can probably take this out. Let's see. I think I can. Yep, so that's where that's sitting. So now I should just be able to keep pressure on this. So you got that gap there. That's what you don't want. The gap, this gap is here because it's sitting, the spring is sitting right here in this surface, but it's sitting on top of that, under that piece. You can typically just pull the spring, because you're trying to get the spring centered, right? It's a little tough. There we go. Paul, how's your new house?
It's pretty good. It's really spacious.
I want to see if it can handle a windstorm. You ready?
Wait, hold on. Wait, no. Oh, it's a mobile home. It's a mobile home.
Also, you kind of want to make sure as you're moving this around, you don't want to flip it over, whatever, without holding this, because if that thing comes out, it's going to spring back, and it could, like I said, it can rip your hand up pretty good. That should be good. Now, what you want to do, first thing first, and again, I always keep my hands on this, flip it over, however you want to do it. As long as you're keeping your hand on there, you're gonna take your kicker, you're gonna take your washer, drop it down, and then, hard to see, but you should see a little lip right there, right where this guy fits in. It is crucial, you do need to have this washer. If you don't have this washer here, what's gonna happen is this is gonna move in and out, pop this off. When that does that, that spring comes out, unravels, and you're done. So make sure, I'm confident that's not gonna come out. Okay. Just make sure you have that piece in there. Don't cut a corner, and don't not install, or don't leave that washer out. It is crucial, so. There we go. Typically you'll hear it kind of snap into place. If it doesn't snap into place, that means, if it doesn't snap into place, guys, that means that your, I think that one went in. Yeah. If you don't hear it snap, that tells me that this piece is too far this way. That's why you got to make sure that gap is as close up as possible. Probably rotate it a few times and then try to push it down a little bit more. You just want to make sure it's all the way down. So sometimes it helps to just kind of rotate it back and forth a little bit. Looks pretty good though. Yeah, I mean, it can't really get much tighter than that. So I think we're good on this. The clip looks like it's set down in the groove there. Oh yeah, so clip's in the groove. It's also probably a pretty good idea to make sure that your clip, I mean, any of this stuff, if you're going to get in here, if your bike is older, or maybe you've had some issues in the past with your kicker, it'd be good to replace it with some new parts. Actually, I'll do this. If that clip wasn't in all the way, this would have, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So yeah, everybody's gonna be a little bit different. This is gonna be a really common design. Piaggio, they actually make a special tool for it, but the Piaggios, come back here, go. The Piaggios, the tools don't seem like they work very well, or I've never been able to get them to work as I believe they're intended to be used. But there's not a video out here on how to do this. it does really help to have the extra, the nut driver. Obviously, if you have one that doesn't have this flare out to it, this is way too big. You should be able to use one that's much smaller, like maybe a 4mm or something like that. But once you're done, make sure this moves nice and free. And then you're gonna take your gear here, kind of hold it back a little bit, and then you're gonna drop this in place, just like that. So what happens is when you kick your bike, that piece comes out, contacts your drive face, and then this brings it back in. So oftentimes if your kicker isn't coming back, it's getting stuck like that and you hear it grinding. So make sure you get that piece right, or that's gonna grind on your drive face, or it's not gonna spring all the way back. Yeah, so that's it. That's how you put that thing together. Like I said, take your time. The most important things, like I guess my little ace in the hole is a nut driver. Feels pretty good, or works really well, but a smaller one for guiding that vertical or that little bent piece all the way around. And then this rubber cap, which doesn't need to stay on. This is just a vacuum cap. You could always use maybe a little tiny set of vice grips from the inside. You could maybe use a zip tie, or find just something to keep this down, because if you don't, as you're moving this around, this spring wants to come back up and you're just working with too many pieces, like you need a third hand. That's where this little puppy comes in really handy to lock that thing down. So hopefully that helps you guys out, gives you some clarification. This is one of those things that a lot of people just simply hate doing because it's a nightmare, and I don't blame them. I don't enjoy it, but as you can see, it took me all of maybe, it took me probably 5 minutes to gather the tools, and maybe 5 minutes to do all the work, including greasing everything. Hope that helps, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit us up, leave a comment down below what you want to see. Like, subscribe, share. Get it.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, ain't happening.
Yeah. Reach.
Reach for the stars. Oh no.
You okay?
All right. What'd you hit? You going next, John?
Yeah, you go next.
Okay. Don't use a log though.
I didn't use the log.
It's a nice log.
You okay?
Oh, it's definitely.
It's like trying to come back.
Yeah.
One rolls downstairs, a motor and pairs, rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and fits on your back? It's log.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
My shoes aren't very grippy.
No. Oh Lord.